Are you looking to buy a home but don't know where to start? I'm here to help. Hey, it's your favorite realtor, Angela Shackleford, and today I'm going to give you 5 tips to get you on the right path towards home ownership. One of the biggest questions I get asked on Facebook on a regular basis is, hey Angela, I'm ready to buy a house, I don't know where to start. So I'm going to give you some information on where to start. Chances are that you've already gone to some of those websites and mortgage calculators to find out how much you can afford. I'm here to tell you, stop right there. A lot of those websites aren't going to be correct. They can't account for certain numbers that are involved, so here's some things you can do to make sure that you're not wasting your time and you're looking in your price point. So number 1, get pre-approved. Again, those mortgage calculators, they can't account for things such as your income, your FICO score, your debt to income ratios, taxes, insurance. Chances are that number you get from the mortgage calculator is going to be way off of what you can actually afford. That way you don't get your hopes up looking for a home that might not necessarily be in your price range. Looking for a home that's outside of your price range is only going to lead you to disappointment. Another reason to get pre-approved is a realtor is really not going to show you any homes without that pre-approval first. Number 1, again, you're wasting your time and you may be wasting our time looking for homes that you might not necessarily qualify for. So we want to make sure you're getting qualified for a home that you can afford and not getting your hopes up on a house that you'll never be able to get. And another reason you'll want to get pre-approved is realtors don't necessarily want to show homes when you're not pre-approved because it's a safety issue. We're taking complete strangers whose information we don't have, and we're meeting up with them in vacant homes. It's a dangerous thing, so we'd like to meet you or at least get you pre-approved with a qualified lender before going out and showing you homes. Number 2, hire yourself a realtor. There's a difference between a real estate agent or a realtor. A realtor belongs to the National Association of Realtors, which holds us to a higher standard than someone who's just a plain real estate agent. We take code of ethics training and we're held to that higher standard and expected to follow those code of ethics. I won't necessarily knock somebody who's a brand new realtor. We were all new at one point, but if you are going to go with somebody new because maybe you know them or somebody's recommended them, make sure they're well mentored. That way you know that there's someone that's working with them that's going to make sure that they can walk them through and make sure everything's being done correctly. If you need help picking a realtor, hit me up. I can either help you or I can help you find someone that might be well suited for you. Feel free to hit me up. My contact information is down in the comments. I'd love to help you if you're in Solano County or the Bay Area. Number 3, make sure you're prepared with the costs that are involved. Buying a house isn't cheap. When you get into contract, the first thing you're going to be expected to do is to have an EMD. It's an earnest money deposit. It's basically a good faith deposit stating you're well vested in a purchase of the home. It's 1% of the purchase price. That 1% is going to be due within 3 days of getting into contract. So after your 1%, you're going to have your deposit. It's 3% of the purchase price. Yes, there's down payment assistance programs out there, but they're not always the best option, and I'll talk about that in a later video. You're also going to have your closing costs. Average closing costs in California right now I've seen run from anywhere from $7,000 to $15,000. If you don't have a seller that's willing to help you with those closing costs, you're going to be responsible for that amount. Don't forget about inspections. I always tell my buyers to save around $1,000 for inspections. If by chance the house you've chosen isn't going to work for you, you're going to have to pay for those costs up front more than once. So always set aside $1,000 to $2,000 to pay for the inspections. Number 4, once you've got pre-approved, once you've picked your realtor, once you have your money set aside, it's time to make your list. This list is the wants, needs, and deal breakers for the home that you want to purchase. This list is going to help your realtor narrow down your choices. They can go in the multiple listing service and pick out homes that are geared towards what you're looking for. I always tell people you want to have a list of your wants, you want to have a list of your needs, and a list of your deal breakers. Wants are things that are optional. Needs are things that are kind of essential, but not necessarily deal breakers. Deal breakers are deal breakers. I always tell my buyers to be realistic. Everything on all 3 lists will not exist in one house. There are some things that you're going to need to decide you're going to forego. When I bought my house, I didn't get anything on my wants. I didn't get anything on my needs. And I think My deal breaker was a backyard, and that was probably the only thing I got when I purchased my home. In today's market, it's quite competitive, so you really need to make a decision as far as what you're willing to do with or without. Number 5, move fast. If you go and look at homes and you find one that you like, don't go home and sleep on it. I've seen a lot of people that go home and sleep on it, and during that process, lost the opportunity to put an offer in on that house because they went into contract before the next day. If you find a house that you like, write that offer same day. You don't want to lose an opportunity to put an offer on a house because you decided to go home and think on it. Thank you for watching. I hope I answered some questions for you. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact me. My contact information is in the description. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Happy house hunting!